Caroline Leavitt just got done with a terrible press conference where she was asked so many questions about Epstein and she just dodged them all, trying to not get in trouble by her boss, Donald Trump. She was also asked about whether or not Trump would pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's co-conspirator in all of these child sex crimes. Her response was abysmal. And remember yesterday we were talking about how Donald Trump's hand is bruised, they're covering it up, his ankles are swollen. It turns out there is some there, and she actually had to talk about it because of the work we're doing here. So we're gonna get to all of that right now. First, let's talk about how, first up, I missed this. Did you know that Donald Trump yesterday mentioned the Unabomber? Let's just see that real fast.
And I have to brag just for a second, because when I first heard about AI, it's not my thing. Although my uncle was at MIT, one of the great professors, 51 years, whatever. He was the longest serving professor in the history of MIT, 3 degrees in nuclear, chemical, and math. That's a smart man. Kaczynski was one of his students. Do you know who Kaczynski was? There's very little difference between a madman and a genius.
What? And why was he talking about that at the Energy and Innovation Summit? Anyways, it turns out that's a lie because, well, I'll let the reporter just explain it for me.
So on Tuesday, the president told a very detailed story about his uncle, noted scientist John Trump, and Theodore Kaczynski, the late Unabomber. He said that Dr. Trump taught Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski was not identified as the Unabomber until 1996. 11 years after John Trump passed away. It would have been impossible for John Trump to have ever discussed the Unabomber with the president. So what was he talking about? And I have one follow-up.
Yeah, so that wasn't even possible because the Unabomber wasn't identified until well after Trump's uncle had died. And here's Caroline Leavitt's pivot.
Andrew, with so many issues going on in the world, I'm a little bit surprised you would ask such a question, although I'm
a little surprised he would ask a question. Caroline, the president of the United States felt like it was the most important thing to talk about. Why is the president of the United States bringing up the goddamn Unabomber and lying about it? Why is he lying about it? I think we all know why, and it's because of the health issues that we're going to be talking about in just a moment that Caroline had to address. Now, she shielded a lot of questions about Epstein. Here's a few. She was asked about whether or not the files had been seen by Trump, and here's what she said.
Thank you, Caroline. 2 questions. So the first is that President Trump said that the Attorney General only gave him a brief overview of what was in these Epstein files. Does he have knowledge or an understanding of what is in the files related to Epstein that have not been released?
not to my knowledge, and that's a question for the Attorney General, as I said, and the President has told the Attorney General if they have any more credible evidence, they should release it.
The President of the United States can truly look at anything. There is nothing too classified for the president. If Donald Trump wanted to know what was in those files, he'd know. And I probably would guess that Donald Trump knows what's in those files, and that's the reason why we're never going to see him, because he saw his name plastered all over it. Now, she was also asked if Donald Trump was going to put a special prosecutor on this case, and here's what she said.
Okay.
Thank you, Caroline.
No, I called on Charlie, but Deanna, you can go ahead too. Go ahead.
The president said that he floated the idea of a special prosecutor in the Epstein case. Can you confirm that? And has he asked the Attorney General to do this, to appoint a special prosecutor to look it over?
Well, the idea was floated from someone in the media to the president. The president would not recommend a special prosecutor in the Epstein case. That's how he feels. And
so sorry, MAGA, that is not going to be your out on this one. Donald Trump doesn't want to look into this any further. And I don't think that's going to make MAGA very happy. And another reporter, she just took so many questions on this. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. By the way, side note, something I thought about last night that I don't think we truly appreciate enough is this is all happening because Elon Musk a month ago tweeted that the reason why they're not releasing the Epstein files is because Donald Trump is in them. And then this all happened. So I guess thank you, Elon Musk. Regardless, this is delicious, and I'm eating it up. Now, she was asked, like I said, why Donald Trump's just not releasing the files. Redacted. Here's what she said.
Move on from this story, but you do have some prominent figures, including the Senate Majority Leader, the House Speaker, voicing support for the files to come out. Representative Massey collecting signatures that would force a discharge petition for a vote on the floor for this. It doesn't seem to be going away. What is stopping the administration from just redacting any sensitive information, grand jury information, and putting out what is appropriate so that the American people can decide and then let this story die?
Well, in terms of redactions or grand jury seals, those are questions for the Department of Justice. Those are also questions for the judges who have that information under a seal. And that would have to be requested, and a judge would have to approve it. That's out of the president's control.
Quick follow-up question on that, Caroline. Didn't Donald Trump say that he can just declassify information with his mind when that classified information was found at Mar-a-Lago? And by the way, he was raided and it was taken away. If that's the case with classified information that Donald Trump was hiding from the FBI and the government, why can't he just do that with the Epstein files? Doesn't make sense to me. Fox News actually asked this and asked, why is the president calling this a hoax?
Thank you, Caroline. There's been a lot of discussion about the Epstein files and the president's comments yesterday calling it a hoax. Can you clarify which part of the Epstein hoax is the hoax part?
The president is referring to the fact that Democrats have now seized on this as if they ever wanted transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, which is an asinine suggestion for any Democrat to make. The Democrats had control of this building, the White House, for 4 years, and they didn't do a dang thing when it came to transparency in regards to Jeffrey Epstein and his heinous crimes. It was this president who directed the Department of Justice and the Attorney General to do an exhaustive review of all files related to Jeffrey Epstein, which they did.
I don't know about that. Donald Trump said, sorry, this is like so pixelated, but Donald Trump said that the files were written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, and Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration. So then why did he give those binders of the hoax out to those MAGA influencers? They're just tying themselves into a knot. Now, here is Caroline Leavitt's answer when asked about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's co-conspirator.
Elizabeth.
Caroline, one more on.
Elizabeth,
will the
go
president consider pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell if the Epstein case is a hoax?
Okay, I'll start off.
It's not like this. The seriousness of this is not funny, but it's the fact that this monster is eating them alive. It's eating them alive. And it's delicious watching her struggle through it. And I can't believe she just didn't answer. She just didn't answer. She's like, I'm not even going to touch that. Now, she did answer the fact that Donald Trump's legs are swollen. She says that this is just normal. This is a long-ass answer, but I think you should hear it all because it sounds like the president is experiencing major health problems.
On another note, I know that many in the media have been speculating about bruising on the president's hand. And
oh, by the way, that's us. That's us in the media. Well job, YouTube subscribers and viewers, for making this a big issue that they have to actually talk about it. Okay.
Also swelling in the president's legs. So in the effort of transparency, the president wanted me to share a note from his physician with all of you today. In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. Laboratory testing included a complete blood count, comprehensive metabolic panel, coagulation profile, D-dimer, B-type natriuretic peptide, and cardiac biomarkers. All results were within normal limits. An echocardiogram was also performed and confirmed normal cardiac structure and function. No signs of heart failure, renal impairment, or systemic illness were identified.
Okay. Does anyone believe any of that? I don't believe a word of it. That woman lies and lies and lies. By the way, what they said Donald Trump has, which is chronic venous insufficiency, is very serious. It's very serious. And as Midas Touch points out here, it appears he's at stage 3, which indicates chronic venous insufficiency. Given Trump's swollen ankles, which we saw, and alterations in color to Trump's skin, he is likely at minimum stage 3 or stage 4, which is swelling present, often accompanied by varicose veins, and stage 4, skin changes and changes in texture of the skin. This is not good, frankly. So this is a lot more serious than the White House is leading on. By the way, well, I don't know, maybe she's telling the truth this time because she is wearing her cross today. Caroline Leavitt does have her cross on. Perhaps she is telling the truth. But no, I doubt it. I doubt it. I think she takes the cross off when the lies become too obscene. These are just normal lies. These are just lies about the president's health. Regardless, we're going to keep following this. This is clearly bothering the Trump administration, the fact that we're aware of his health issues, the fact that we won't let up on Epstein, and we're not going to let up on either because these are important stories and we're going to keep following them. If you want to keep following these stories, subscribe here, like this video so more people see it, and I will see you next time. Bye.